This presentation will guide you through the process of submitting the Notice of Completion form for the Transition Nursing Program. We offer this transition to licensed practical nurses and paramedics. Nursing requires each student to view this presentation at least once, but serious students will appreciate its importance to them and use it as a reference whenever necessary. Each advisor strives to give students the best advice possible. However, with so many facts to remember, omissions can occur. It is in the student's best interest to review these presentations as often as needed to feel confident in the advice being offered. If you feel the advice you've received is different from the facts in these presentations, please ask. The accompanying handouts are the most up-to-date information available and are designed to be a reference for you. It is your responsibility to ensure you understand the information in the presentation and the handouts. Notice of Completion for LPN to ADN, Transition Nursing. This form is used by transition nursing students only. Beginning practical nursing students and regular associate degree nursing students use a competitive clinical entry only and do not submit the Notice of Completion. In this presentation, we will be discussing helpful handouts, what a Notice of Completion is, items required for a Notice of Completion, how to take the ATI test, how a Notice of Completion is used in transition nursing, how to submit a Notice of Completion, how you will know if your name is on the list, when you will begin the clinical program. In addition to viewing this presentation, be sure to download these helpful handouts that provide more detailed information and that you can use as a reference. Please make sure to go to our website for current forms. What is a Notice of Completion? It's a form you submit to nursing to indicate your interest in and completed requirements for transition nursing. Refer to the handout called Notice of Completion linked here. At this time, we are using a competitive clinical entry as well. Once a student completes the requirements on this form and submits it and the CCE application to the nursing office, 401, he or she will be placed on the applied list and will compete for a seat in the next available class. More details about this process will be discussed in the following slides. Please note the courses required for the Notice of Completion. If you are an LPN, occasionally a student will ask if being enrolled in a class is sufficient for counting it on the Notice of Completion. A student must have a grade of at least a C in the required classes to count it on the Notice of Completion. If you have transfer classes, please allow student records enough time to evaluate your transcript for equivalent courses. Each transition nursing student is required to participate in this Notice of Completion segment of the presentation before the form can be submitted to nursing. A South Carolina practical nursing license, current and in good standing, must be noted as a license number. LPN credential must have been obtained from an ASIN nationally accredited LPN program. The student may contact the South Carolina Licensing Board for information about receiving a South Carolina license if the current license is from another state. The GPA must be a full 2.5 to satisfy the requirement. Notice of Completion for paramedics. Please note the requirements for the Notice of Completion if you are coming into the transition nursing as an associate degree paramedic. You will follow the guidelines described on the previous slide with these revisions. Your associate degree in applied science must be in emergency medical technology and appear in our student record system. A copy of your National Registry card must also be submitted with your Notice of Completion. Your GPA must be a cumulative GPA of at least 2.5. Your AAS degree GPA must also be at least a 2.5. You will be required to pass the TEAS test with at least a 50% AIT average. This is offered at our assessment center. The entrance test for transition nursing is the ATI test of ADN fundamentals. Details for completing this test appear on the next slide. They are also in the handout called ATI test information. As part of the admissions process, a student will submit a high school and all previous college transcripts. How to take the ATI. These details can be downloaded by printing the handout called ATI Test Information. If a student doesn't pass the ATI on the first attempt, it is strongly advised they review their weak areas summarized at the ATItesting.com website under My Results. Students should take the time to study before repeating the test. If a student is unsuccessful on both attempts, they would gain entry using the competitive clinical entry process and begin at the associate degree nursing 139/104 beginning level. How the notice of completion is used. A student submits a notice of completion to the nursing department to indicate interest and preparedness for transition nursing. This form and the nursing competitive entry application places your name on the applied list for transition nursing. A student whose name is on the applied list is eligible to be offered a seat in transition nursing based on CCE points as seats are available. How to submit your notice of completion. Transition nursing applications are accepted for fall semester from May 1st through 30th and for spring semester from October 1st through 31st. Each requirement must be satisfied before the form is acceptable. How will I know if my name is on the complete list? Once the notice of completion has been verified, you will receive an email in your TCTC email account noting your status. It is extremely important to complete all requirements before submitting the notice of completion and the application to secure your complete date. When will you begin nursing 145, 146 transition nursing? When applications have been evaluated and seats determined, email notification will come in your Tri-County email account regarding your acceptance to transition nursing. This email will contain a deposit letter, date for your mandatory orientation, and other important attachments for your information. You should look for it in your TCTC inbox during the months of July for fall entry and November for spring entry. One additional note, the program fee for transition is currently $260. For an explanation of this fee, please see Getting Started and Next Steps. Nursing 162. Nursing 162, Psychiatric and Mental Health Nursing. Students will take Nursing 162 along with Nursing 145, 146 Med-Surg transition courses. After participating in this presentation, we hope you understand the process for and importance of submitting your notice of completion. You are welcome to view this presentation as often as you wish to review the information.